Hey guys, Master Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to be looking at the newly awakened on global STR Fat Buu. He's awakened into quite an interesting unit. He now has an AoE super attack that has a chance to stun all the enemies. I think I've got him on global, but with like no dupes, so I'm showing him off on the JP here, Rainbow. Unfortunately, one of the weird things about the private server is if you pick up key, it gives you full key instead of just like 1 to 3, or well, I mean sometimes you get more than that, but I mean we were gonna always make it so you can super attack anyway. So because we've got the nicely awakened Kid Buu on the rotation, his Easy A should be coming next week on global, so we will be able to take advantage of his excellent support capabilities. So obviously we're showing him off on the Resurrected Warriors team. I'm going to bring up the overlay very quickly here and go through what he does. So his leader skill, strength types, key +3, HP attack and defense 70%. So actually equal to the STR Omega. That's actually quite interesting. Obviously a little bit outdated now, but if you're going for like an extreme STR team and you don't have Janemba, he technically is a better leader to use than the Roshi from the barbershop with the same leader skill. So that's actually not bad at all. His super attack, the Angry Explosion, supreme damage to all enemies with a rare chance to stun, which the wiki shows as 20%. His passive, Majin's Pace, changes int key spheres to STR key spheres, attack and defense plus 50%, so the 50% you just get all the time, and then an additional attack and defense plus 10% per STR key sphere obtained. So he changes int orbs to STR orbs and then gets a nice little attack boost per STR orb. So that's actually pretty decent. His link skills, the Innocence, Revival, Master of Magic, Majin, Infinite Regeneration, Wall Standing Tall, and Fierce Battle. So the fact that he has Fierce Battle is obviously very useful. Like most Buu units, he doesn't have a lot of key links, but he does have Revival, which is a 2 key link, and that is quite common on the Resurrected Warriors team. So we are going to jump back into the gameplay, and since we have Buu, basically the Turles event is one of the only like current events that's not, you know, like really old and therefore super easy, that actually has multiple enemies in one of the phases. So I figured we'd take that on. We managed to get Buu in the first rotation, so let's see what he's going to take from this super attack. Wow, 57, thanks to the excellent support from Kid Buu. So 1.2 million attack stat. That's actually pretty damn good. There's at least one stun, although I think, well, there's another one. We've got some crits across the board. That was a crit for 1.62 on the ballsack head guy. So it completely takes out the enemy team, which is basically what we were hoping for. So obviously we've got some supports on the team like the physical Kid Buu and this int Metal Cooler. I'm actually going to put the Demigra over onto the rotation with the Buu, since they have Revival and Master of Magic, which is of course a 15% attack link, and then of course he shares the Majin link with the physical Kid Buu, which is attack and defense 10%. So he's going to have quite a few decent links. He's still going to have the physical Kid Buu on the rotation, so we should see an even higher attack stat from him in the next phase. So obviously he is a unit that can be very, very useful for Super Battle Road. The fact that he can hit all the enemies and potentially stun multiple enemies as well. I would have gone into the either the STR one or the Resurrected Warriors one for the sake of the showcase, but unfortunately on the private server you can't do Super Battle Road without messing around with things in a way that I don't quite understand. So we are just taking on a Dokkan event, 1.36 now. So obviously the more strength orbs we pick up, the more damage we can do. Wow, 1.4 mil on a crit. That's it's actually pretty decent. So yeah, obviously Super Battle Road is probably going to be where you'd get the most use out of him. Although on an extreme STR team, he's definitely not the worst fit. Although of course there's not a lot of other Majin units. So I feel like now that we are, and have been for a while, very solidly in the categories meta, he probably is going to be best used on the Resurrected Warriors team. Especially, like I said, because that revival link is so common on this team. And Buu characters are notorious for having terrible or no attack links, key links whatsoever. It's like one of the things that sort of puts Kid Buu below Super 17 in my rankings of the Extreme 120 leaders. I mean, that is essentially where the Super 17 meme from my channel comes from, the fact that I rate him so highly amongst the 120 leads. And it's the fact that Kid Buu, as hard as he hits, and the fact that he heals, which is really nice, he's got no key links, so you kind of have to build a team almost completely around making sure you get key for him. So we're going to pick up a lot of STR orbs here, and we have the Master of Magic link with the Demigra, so I think this is probably going to be his best rotation that we're going to see in this video, especially with all of those STR orbs. But of course, Kid Buu going to get an additional. Not bad, considering he is a support unit. Obviously, he's fully easy aid, but he is essentially a support unit. That's still a very decent showing. And he's tanking very well. 1.85. So that is actually very impressive. Like, almost being able to hit a 2 mil attack stat for what was essentially a surprise awakening for an old unit that nobody cared about. I mean, obviously for us on Global, it's not a surprise if you follow JP, but when this awakening dropped on JP, it was definitely safe to say that it was a surprise awakening that no one was really expecting. Because I'm sure some of you, like me, as I was saying at the start of the video, you maybe have like 1 or 2 copies of this guy in your box on Global, and you've never really thought to use him or put orbs into him. So, as you can see, definitely a pretty solid unit. Definitely has his uses. Tanks fairly well at least when supports were on the rotation. So, I mean, whilst he's not going to dish out as much damage as LR Broly, he at least doesn't completely nerf all of his defense when he super attacks. And the fact that he does boost his defense along with his attack when picking up the STR orbs, he would actually be quite a solid unit for Super Battle Road, especially if you can bring enough strength orbs to him to hugely increase that attack and defensive stat. So, I mean, like, for example, if you wanted to use him on the Extreme STR Super Battle Road, the STR Android 17 is an STR orb changer, so having those two together would be pretty crazy in terms of the amount of STR orbs you could pick up. But there you go. So let me know down below in the comments, guys, do you have this guy sat in your box and basically never used him? I think I've just finished getting the medals to actually awaken him on Global, but like I said, he is super attack 1 at the moment. He does have a farmable super attack from the first stage of the Kid Buu event, so I'll probably have to farm him up, and at some point in the future, if I pull dupes for him, then I'll have to put some orbs into him. So, but anyway, let me know what you think down below. Is he worth using? Have you tried him out on Super Battle Road? Let me know how it goes. And yeah, that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe for more regular Dokkan Battle content. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at the Masked Ningen, or join my Discord. The link is in the description below. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.